welcome to McGowan's Canvas Miracles. I hope you're ready for a great show. We got a great guest today. She does magic tricks and handstands and
No, not quite. Not even close.
Gallivan, an old friend. She's been, her family's been a big part of this community for a long time, and you probably know her from her store downtown, Headwaters. And but we're going to talk today about all the great festivals and the parts of the city you're involved with and the things that you help with. And thank you for coming out.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it's been great.
And we're even going to try tackling a painting.
Oh,
Come up with something.
Yeah.
Make something up as we go.
We can do it.
Mix some mud pies, things like that. And
Sure.
Follow along. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Miramichi, specifically in the Newcastle area. I think around 17 years old, I left Miramichi. I went to school for marketing at BCC Moncton. Quite soon after then, I went to the Northwest Territories. I was up there for just over 10 years. Had a restaurant and a catering company up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I had 2 kids. And then we were
We had to have somebody to run the restaurant.
That's right. Yeah, I stopped at 2 though. That was good for 2. And then moved to Northern Alberta, where I started my current company, Valiant Modern Media, which is a digital marketing agency.
Okay.
And then from there, we were there for quite a while, and then moved back home to Miramichi, and I've been here just about 10 years. So just over 10 years, I guess now. So yeah, and now I have the little shop downtown in Newcastle, Headwaters Trading, and I still operate my agency, Valiant Modern Media, and I'm quite active in the community. Yeah.
Yeah, store's great. It's got all kinds
Thank
of
you.
Miramichi paraphernalia.
Yeah.
You get for tours and people, and you bring family in, and I love going down there.
Yeah.
There's one, I don't know if you still have them, but Hoppy Dunn, famous
yes.
sportscaster. You had these little things made
Farewell
up.
buoy, yes, yes.
And Hoppy was, what's his famous line? You have it written on the top of your store, actually.
Oh gosh, you're putting me on the spot now. Oh gosh, you can't do that to me.
Can't do that to you? Something to the Headwaters.
From the Headwaters of Miramichi to the Farewell buoy. Tonight is hockey night in Miramichi.
Yeah.
I think something like that.
So we're just going to take some orange.
Okay.
This is complicated. You're
just
going to
do
go
orange.
just back and forth. Maybe you take your spray bottle, spray it on, get a little moist so it'll move around easy.
Okay.
Nothing to it.
Just a little
Just
bit of
whack
orange.
that orange on there, just like it's nothing. I figure, well, we just had some beautiful sunrises down there. I was standing along the shoreline the other day, and I was like, Miramichi has the most beautiful sunrise along the river.
Oh, honestly, I know. It's like, and depending on what side of the river you're on, it's like a whole different show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I go to the Nelson side for the morning, and then for the evening sun, I like to come over and watch it over on the Chatham side. But it's incredible. And I spent a lot of time, of course, down by Ritchie's Wharf in Newcastle, writing and doing different things with the sunrises. So
yeah.
It doesn't matter where you go here, you're going to get something beautiful to see.
It's truly, yeah. Anywhere you go, there's no bad seat.
No, you got to get more people out here and, enjoying this. They don't know what they're missing.
No, I know. And we've seen actually at the store, we've seen quite a few tourists, even this year already. We get a lot of them, actually. It's quite amazing on how many tourists we actually do have in Miramichi. We get a lot of Europeans, where Lord Beaverbrook is so well known in Europe, and this being his birthplace. And downtown Newcastle is actually where his, I suppose, his ashes are, in the park itself.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in there and they're kind of looking to brush with history and visit, and so we get a lot of Europeans. We're actually seeing a lot of Americans coming in as well, which has been nice. We're doing yellow now?
Yeah, so we go yellow.
Okay.
Start working our way up into the orange.
Yeah, so it's been really nice. And this year actually already we've seen a huge influx of tourists coming through.
Well, one thing that Miramichi is amazing for is festivals.
It is.
I mean, every festival I've gone to here is something that just sort of lights up your day.
Yeah, Festival City, right?
And we have one of the big ones coming up, the Rock and Roll Festival, which you're taking care of. And there's a few different things about it this year. Tell us some of the.
Yeah, well, just like a lot of the festivals that have been happening in Miramichi, there's a bit of a transition, and some of the original founders of these festivals are kind of saying, you know what, I think there's time to retire, and so a lot of the festivals are looking for some successors to take over, and of course, the Rock and Roll Festival is one of those festivals. And this year, and actually since COVID, really, the downtown Newcastle Business District, which I'm a part of, has been involved a little bit more heavily than we had in the past with the Rock and Roll Festival. And so this year, some of the organizers had approached us to take on actually a larger role in the festival and essentially use this year as a transition year. So here we are this year. We've decided, we're a younger group of folks, and we've come together and decided that this year would be a really great year to go ahead and start rebranding. So actually, this year it'll be called the Rock and River Fest. So we're still keeping the R&R name, but going for the Rock and River Fest as its first year this year.
Okay. So is there going to be, are you still going to have old cars?
Same model, yep, same stuff with a few extra pieces. So some of the things that we've done the last year that have really taken off, one being the market in the park. So we'll lean a little bit heavier into the market in the park, so that'll be a mainstay from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Foam Fest with the kids back at the Kin Center has been a hit for the last 3 years, so that's back for its 4th year. That's just so much fun. It's about, anywhere from, I would say, 500 to 700 kids in the span of about 4 hours, and their families come in and they have their little bathing suits on and they run in the foam and play, and it really is so exciting. It's so fun because the back of the Kin Center is just full. The whole back lawn is full of foam. You can actually see like the big fluffy foam pieces like drifting off into the rest of the crowd. It's really nice. Kids love it. So that's back again this year. And we are doing one last set with the rock and roll vibes. So we have Honeymoon Suite coming in, which is exciting. And of course, because we really want to start leaning more heavily into some of the local talent that we have here on the Miramichi, we have the Wright brothers, Roy and Ian, as an opener for Honeymoon Suite, which is very exciting. They're very excited about it, and we're very excited to have them. And then we have, so they'll be opening for Honeymoon Suite, and then after Honeymoon Suite, we have Merrimack, which they're coming in. They're a really great band, really fun, really high energy, as an after party to Honeymoon Suite. So this is our last rock and roll set, called One Last Set. And,
oh, really? So they really want to get out this year because you're not going to get to see Honeymoon Suite again.
No, and actually tradition. What's really exciting, which I just found out, was that Honeymoon Suite is actually releasing a brand new album.
Oh, really?
The night before they come here, so they'll be in Newfoundland actually, and they'll have their release party in Newfoundland. They jump on a plane, and then they come here. So that's very exciting.
That's pretty sweet. Did you get to see your dad for Father's Day, or is your dad still alive?
Oh yeah, Dad's yeah. We had a great afternoon at the house. The kids made him a couple of little gifts, and he visited, and we had some cake, and just sat around and chatted and enjoyed the day. It was nice.
Oh, yeah. You have any kind of ordeals with your kids drive you crazy yet?
Oh my gosh, no. We did get, actually talking of airports, we had flown home from the Northwest Territories at one point. And of course, there's like a massive ice storm, and we got stuck in this. I guess we got grounded for like 6 days, and I was with my 2 kids by myself, and one was 6 months old, and one was 2 years and 6 months. And I remember having like all this luggage because we were coming east for 6 weeks or whatever, and I had car seats, and I had strollers, and I had like travel playpens, and of course like 2 pieces of luggage, and it was horrible. And then we got in the bus, and then we took a bus to like the wrong side of Toronto because there was just like so many people that were grounded in Toronto that just kept expanding what hotels you were getting sent to. And I went to like the completely wrong side, and I remember all of this luggage, and it was just like, I was just like this, camel carrying all this stuff and these kids, and they were just amazing through the whole thing. And I remember the very end, a couple pieces of our luggage were missing, and sure enough, my 2.5-year-old, as we're like waiting to get on the plane like 5 days later, he finds them in like a sea of luggage. I actually had taken a piece of New Brunswick tartan, and I said, okay, like that's how it will stand out. So I wrapped a piece of New Brunswick tartan on the little handle of my luggage.
Yeah.
And my 2.5-year-old went through, I'm sure there was like thousands of bags, and I could see him, and I was feeding the little guy, and I was just sitting there watching him, and he said, "Mom, Mom, 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 I found our bags." So here he did. He found this little New Brunswick tartan tied to the luggage piece, and he ran across, came over. He's like, "I found it. I know I found it. It's definitely our bags." Sure enough, I went over, and the little guy had found the bags in a sea of probably 3,000 pieces of luggage that were missing. But no, they're fantastic. My kids are fantastic. I have no complaints with them.
Well, I think what we'll do now, we got some kind of orange sky going on. Let's throw some kind of moon or sun or something up there. We'll put a white circle and figure out what it is later.
Decide what it is later. Okay.
Yeah, why not? Get it as semi-round as we can make it. Make it big or small.
My son's really been enjoying your art classes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, people come out and love it. They always start out saying, "Oh, I can't paint anything. I can only paint stick figures." And they're doing really good, actually. We're going to have a big show, and actually 3 or 4 of them are selling their work and doing well now, so that kind of...
Oh, wow.
It's always fun.
That's amazing. There's my moon, or sun.
I think they tell me what to do now. They're more in control of the class than I am. No, Rob, we're doing that. We're doing this.
Yeah, they're the boss.
Get them pushed and going in a certain direction. Well, what we want to do, I think let's make a ledge. So let's try teaching a little bit of perspective. So in point perspective, we want to go from a small point. We got a horizon line. We'll imagine there's a horizon line under this moon somewhere up here. And we'll take a little bit of this dark color. We'll start with a point somewhere up on the horizon line, and we're going to pull it off the canvas down here somewhere. So let's start painting a ridge. We can make it any shape we want. We can have it have a little cliff in it or hill. So we'll paint a straight line first. We'll paint a ridge with a reflection. That's what we'll do. I like this idea.
Okay.
So we'll come
Trying
down.
to follow.
So just paint to the corner.
Oh, we're doing it. Okay.
One dot, just paint a straight line down to the corner, and then we're going to make a cliff out of it. I don't like this little brush taking too long, so I'm going to grab this big one and do it with that instead. Here. So if we're going to make it a cliff, we'll make it sort of go upwards like this. Once we've got a line, we'll sort of paint straight up. So we don't want to paint on an angle. We always want the angles going up towards the horizon line.
Okay.
And then anything we want to look flat, we paint in the same direction as the horizon line. So we'll start moving it like this. Just see what we can build up here. Something that can sort of move along, start in one place, finish in another. All right, you got something going on there?
I'm trying.
That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
That's the best
Black
black
line?
triangle I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It's
from the heart.
incredible. We like to keep it fun and light. And then down underneath, we'll sort of get a little bit more transparent. And we'll just cleaning my brush out basically with some water. I'm going to run some of this cliff down like this, create a reflection.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to take my brush, clean it off, and just slowly pull into the cliff like this here. And all of a sudden I'll have a nice little reflection starting to happen. And we want that one to be sort of transparent.
Yeah,
so
but a little bit too much, eh?
that's okay. You just take your cloth, wipe off a little bit. You can take some water, clean her up, clean up the edges. So reflections, the main thing we want to do is we want to have a bunch of down and up strokes. So transparency, the cliff is reflecting down on the water, and the water is vibrating it over the top. So down, with a little bit of cross strokes. And then we just let it dry. Wait for the magic people to come in on the break and paint everything up for us. You know,
I
isn't
don't
that they do on
know.
those TV shows? They come in. And
I hope one comes in for mine.
they got a crew shows up, does all the work, and then you look
Yeah.
and say, "Oh, that looks amazing."
Yeah, there they come.
It's like those shows where they're fixing the furniture or fixing the house floor or whatever. The guy starts, he's putting down one plank.
Like a
and
TLC show.
yeah, 2 seconds later, he's got a whole floor, and you're thinking, yeah, sure, okay.
That took them really 36 hours.
The Rock and Roll Festival.
Yes.
So take us through an event, something that you would do at the. So I'm coming from out of town.
Yeah.
I show up at the Rock and Roll Festival in Miramichi. And
Well,
it's
so-
down on the river.
It is, yeah. So it's really like a very similar model to the last number of years. So it's been going actually for 30 years, which is amazing.
Wow.
And I can remember, this might date me a little, I can remember the first one and the actual excitement and how it was just like the streets were just full 30 years ago, and we still had the bookstore, and I remember being downtown for it. And a couple of the mainstays and some of the favorite things we're trying to bring back and slowly and gradually do so because we're really transitioning this year. So we've got some new people and we have some of the older board members. They're maintaining this year with us, and then they'll slowly sort of slip away, I think is their intentions, which we're happy. They've definitely earned the break.
Oh, yeah.
So this year, the fireworks. So one of the really nice things that we're doing that's a little bit different, where we are as a board, the Downtown Newcastle Business District, we're joining with the Rock and Roll Festival and rebranding it to be the Rock and River Fest. So this Rock and River Fest this year, the first Friday night, there'll actually be a pub crawl, which will be really exciting. So they'll register, and so all of the pubs will be full from about 6 until 10. At 7 o'clock, we have the opening ceremonies in downtown Newcastle, right on the waterfront in front of the Goodie Shop. So that will be then, and then we have the street dance. So Short Sweet Ride will be playing the street dance. It's usually full of kids and families, and it's a really nice time. A lot of dancing in the streets, of course, and then at the same time we'll have the pub crawl, the street dance, and then it's all great big finale with both parade of lights on the water. So the boats are invited to deck their boats out with lights and sail the river all evening. And then at 10, roughly between 9:30, 10 o'clock, depending on where the moon's at and how dark it is, we'll be having fireworks. So we do have fireworks this year. They'll be right at Ritchie's Wharf. So the best spot to see them will be right on Ritchie's Wharf, which is really exciting. So we're trying to bring Ritchie's Wharf back in. Another big exciting thing for me this year. Okay, I'm getting too excited.
There's too much.
I know.
What we're going to do is we're going to take a short break.
Okay.
Because we got 3 segments, you know.
Okay, well, this
But
is
we're going to
exciting.
come back and we're going to talk about, get all of it in.
Okay.
We can't squeeze it all into a minute.
Oh, okay, well, I'll try.
We'll just take a little minute.
Try to relax.
We'll be right back with McGowan's Canvas Miracles after this.
Okay.
Well, welcome back to McGowan's Canvas Miracles. We got our great guest, Tiffany's here, and she was telling funny stories in between the set, but we can't talk about those ones. We'll leave those off air. We'll go back. We were talking about the Goodie Shop, and they played a big role in the Rock and Roll Festival of the year. Nelson, super guy. He's always helping out our community in some way, and so is he involved this year doing the same kind of stuff?
He is. He's kind of sitting back a little bit, and he's definitely been involved in terms of like, hey Nelson, so like, how did this work, or how have you guys done this in the last 30 years? And we've actually been working with Nelson on ways to improve some of these things that they've been doing for the last 30 years, and saying, hey, well, if we involve a little bit of tech here, or digital this or that, and he's been game. He's been really supportive and really excited to see things progress and really just like grow. And so he's been great.
It's awesome, yeah. Well, it's everybody's favorite restaurant, right? You
It
go down,
is.
you drop by, have a breakfast in Goodie
Eggs
Shop, and they always
Benedict.
have the old pictures of the rock and roll
Yeah.
stuff around, so it's always good.
Yeah.
And right out in front of there, of course, they have the big stand set up, and we were talking about all the kids dancing out there, and you got the view of the river, and it's fun.
Yeah, and
Fireworks.
it's been nice too. We've been doing a lot of development in that area, and the city had just done a beautiful job renovating that parking lot. So this year, actually, the big concert will happen right on that newly renovated parking
Oh, really?
space. Yeah,
Okay.
so moving the concert there, which is very exciting. That's where it was actually originally. And as I said, we're trying to bring some of those mainstays or some of those classic pieces
Well, it's been
back.
hard since COVID and everything's shut down and just sort of getting people back out into the group. But last year there was quite a crowd.
Oh yeah, we had
So-
huge numbers. It, since the downtown Newcastle Business District has really kind of jumped in and said, hey, we can help round out some of the stuff that you folks are doing. And of course, this year, last year, the year before, we've just grown a little bit more on how we supported the festival. And this year, of course, more than ever, we're taking a larger role in the planning and support for this festival and bringing back some of those classic pieces that we love. And it's trying to keep things fresh and interesting. You do the same thing over and over again, it sometimes can grow a little stale. And keeping the excitement and the interest going has been, our method has been, well, let's bring some of the older stuff back and recycle those ideas.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you're working with a lot of different things with the city and your promotions and things like
Yeah.
that, which is great. We got a Art Love coming up this week, and that's going to be a good, fun show, which we're going to film some of it and hopefully get that on air. But they do a painting in 20 minutes, which is kind of interesting.
Blows my mind. Blows my mind.
Yeah.
And like a great painting in 20
Oh,
minutes.
I know.
Not just to paint on
And
canvas.
like anything, it's always something fun people can come out to. So if you haven't got your tickets, no, this will actually air after that, so that won't work. But yeah, tune in and see what happens.
Yeah, see the after.
Yeah. And you were saying something about the horse. You were
Oh my gosh, yes.
telling me earlier about something out west and the horse. And
I was just saying how wonderful this painting is. It's I've seen quite a few of your pieces just from being around the radio station or in some of the art classes recently. But that horse painting is probably one of my favorites of yours. And I was saying how it reminded me. I'm not a huge horse lover or anything. I've always thought they were beautiful, but nothing. But that one there just strikes me, and it actually reminds me of I was telling you about a story. Oftentimes with my agency, clients will ask me to come out where they are or travel to their place of business. I do work remotely, but I also do travel to clients. And one of my clients had called from the Yukon, actually, northern BC in the Yukon, and they flew us up there. I was actually living here at the time, and I flew out, this is pre-COVID, to this remote hunting and fishing camp, and it is actually a 2 million hectare wildlife preserve.
wow.
Called Scoop Lake in northern BC. It's actually in the Yukon, but because it's such a large, massive of wildlife preserve, it actually shoulders on both sides of the Yukon and BC. And they had brought me up, and I was up there for almost a month. It's completely remote. It's you fly in at a dirt road. Everything is flown up there or built up there. So they have sawmills, and they do their own wood and lumber, and they built everything over the last, I think, 40 years. And there's one moment I was out, and they had given us all these horses, and I'm like, so how do you get the horses out here? Like, this sounds like a stupid question, but like, you guys are only here for so long. And actually what they are wild horses that they send to pasture and send back out to the mountains at their season end. And by the time they come and fly back, the horses are there waiting at the stables for them to return. And so I got to spend a month with these wild horses. And I remember I was out paddleboarding one morning, early in the morning, and of course, like wild horses, you can't really tame a wild horse fully, but one of them had jumped the fence and decided that it was going to spend the morning in the little lake, just splashing around, playing. And actually it reminds me of that horse. So when I saw that picture, I'm like, oh God, like that was really cool. And so all these different amazing experiences. And, I think one of the best things about my job is all the different, it's just my role in the community, is all the different things I get to do and see and the people I get to meet. And no 2 days are the same. Today I'm painting with you, and tomorrow I might be, sitting with a client, talking about this new great idea they have. And so it's been a gift to do all these great things. And
Well,
that
the city's lucky to have you.
Thank
Sounds
you.
like
Thank you. Yeah.
You're getting a variety of different things. And
Yeah.
so what I do now is we're going to, just to give our silhouette a little bit of interest, we just add a little bit of brown to it, with a little brown in the reflection. Just like there's a couple rocks there, a cliff, and a couple things down. And the whole secret to painting is never touch anything too much. Just put a little dab of color. So what we're trying to do when we paint something is suggest things. So when we did perspective, we want to draw the eye down to say there's distance. When we do a reflection, it's to tell us there's some kind of water there. When we put a little brown in it, say there's some kind of cliff or rock there. So everything is about suggesting things. We're not trying to paint any detail or great adventure into this.
I like it.
Our mind can do all that. We don't need all that.
Imagination.
It's impressionist.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll put let's do something crazy. Let's put
Crazy.
some kind of stem for a tree up here. How's that?
Excuse me. Okay.
Why not?
Stem for a tree.
And if that brush is too thick or too thin, whatever, just use a million different ones here. We're going to take this little stipple brush here. And it's just an ordinary house brush that you would use for cutting in small corners or something, but I like to, this thing's probably 20 years old. And the more worn they get, the better the brushes work. So I take a little bit of this dark color, and well, we can't have a tree unless we put some kind of a branches on it.
I think we only got one stipple, Rob.
Well, I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, my turn next.
Throw a bit
too.
on,
Yeah.
and then you do it.
Okay.
It's only a 30-second little thing. See?
30-second tree.
Nothing to it.
Okay.
I'll try some other brush. Why not? What do I got here? What do I have that I can break up? I got a toothbrush. That might be kind of fun. I've never tried this. What can you do with a toothbrush?
A tree toothbrush. Or
Look at
toothbrush
this.
tree.
I'm going to paint a tree with a toothbrush just to see what happens.
Oh, should I keep going with my tree or?
Yeah, you got the nice, oh, yours is actually nice.
Thank you.
That's a really nice tree.
Thank you very much.
Look at this big ugly thing. You got this nice little dainty, beautiful tree there.
Little tree.
Don't be showing me up now. What's going on with all that?
Do you need lessons, Rob?
Yeah, I was
Would you like
thinking,
me to give you
come
some
here and
lessons?
hopefully get a few. That's why I bring people in. They can show me a few things now and then, and I can
Tricks.
understand. So, well, as far as the Rock and Roll Fest, you got the fireworks, you got the lots of food, and how long does it run for? The
3
whole thing?
days. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This year, one of the newer additions that I'm very excited about. I don't know if anyone has. I'm sure you have. Did you check out that new beautiful bandstand that they have now at the Ritchie's Wharf? Like stunning. Have you
No.
seen it? Oh my!
Haven't been down.
Oh gosh, you got to go. You got to
Really?
go check it out. It's quite beautiful. It's this brand new. It's got a roof on it. It's quite lovely. And so this year, what we're actually adding to the festival is an arts and culture stage. So what we'll be having down there is different types of programming, bringing in some different cultural things. We're hoping to get some drummers, some theater down there. We'll have a really great little schedule out here very shortly on all the different things that we'll be having and offering down there. We've got some different acts and some really cool new pieces that we'll see what we can build from down there. So it'll be all on the Ritchie's Wharf Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Well, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, something that we haven't done before with the Rock and Roll Festival.
So, of all the festivals that you've been to and enjoying, is there any particular one that something happened that you really enjoyed, a certain fireworks? Actually, I thought last year's fireworks were the best ones I ever seen.
I felt like a kid. I was so excited. I actually could feel the excitement in my chest. I live streamed it for the community on the Downtown Newcastle Business District page, and I'm sure any of the viewers could. They were probably more entertained by some of the commentary from the kids around us, but it was just fascinating. It was beautiful, stunning. It probably lasted 40 minutes?
I don't know. It was one of the. I couldn't believe they put that firework on here.
Oh, I know.
I was like, what?
And the ones in the
I mean,
water,
yeah, they were just stunning.
Oh, they were crazy.
I don't know if it's the same ones doing it this year or it's different.
It's all on
or what.
budget, Rob. That's
Yeah.
the big trick. The bigger the
So-
bang, for the bigger the buck.
Yeah. Is it always the same people put it on?
It is, yeah. But last year was our 30th year,
So they had a bigger budget?
so we had a special budget. We'll call it that.
A special
A
budget?
special budget.
Oh, well, I'm sure it'll be amazing again this year like it always is.
Yeah, and like we said, we are switching the locations.
Uh-huh.
Again, we're trying to do what we can to bring all of the wonderful pieces
How
of
did you get green there?
I don't know, Rob. I did it though. I think I added blue.
That's
but
okay.
Is that wrong?
Yeah,
Should I
there's
fix
a
it?
little moss coming off
Little
your
moss.
cliff there. Maybe take your
Yeah.
brag and
Yeah.
thin it out.
Let's
Maybe
see.
not have so much moss.
Less moss? It's a mossy cliff.
Well, I
Okay.
did mix a little green here for your tree.
I think I got ahead of myself. I was talking.
Talking, not looking.
Yeah.
That's all right. I
Well.
did it on purpose just to make sure yours didn't come out just quite right. I'm sabotaging it.
You're sabotaging after the tree.
So we take a little brush and we're going to dab some of this green
Okay.
and just touch over some of that black in our tree that we put on there.
Okay.
And just give it a little light, a little bit of light green into our tree. Some fun with it. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Maybe some of this orange. We got a yellow water down here, so let's take some of that orange up in the sky. Let's start bringing it down
Okay.
into our water as a reflection. So the way we do a reflection is we do some downward strokes and then paint horizontally along the horizon line, creating water waves. A few downward strokes here and there, and then just paint horizontally, creating water. And all of a sudden, some kind of reflection starts to happen. It's magic.
Magic.
What's your favorite song growing up as a kid?
Wild World.
Really?
Yeah.
It's Rolling Stones?
No, Cat Stevens.
Oh, Cat Stevens.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, baby, it's a wild world, that one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that song.
Yeah, it was.
He's got an interesting story, Cat Stevens.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the music is remained the same. However, his persona has changed. So.
Oh, I know. It's quite something. I remember he all of a sudden he got sick,
Yeah.
and it changed his philosophy on life. It was like he had tuberculosis, I think it was.
Oh, is that what it was?
And then he said, all this money, nothing means anything.
Nope.
And he decides to give it all up and travel the world. Yusuf is his name, right? And he says, I'm going to travel
Muhammad
the world
Yusuf.
and talk to different religions and find out what God is. And it just fascinated me. Just gave it all up, every bit of it.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's... But you get sick and you start to realize what's important in this world and what's not important. And it doesn't matter how much money you have or how famous you are, there's if you're not happy, that none of that's going to make you happy. So we got to fix ourselves before we worry about the other things in life.
Yeah, and I think what I liked the most about his music is I think even when he was younger and before he got sick, he still had those elements to his music.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that.
Been on the search, right?
Oh, I think I got a little black. Oh shoot.
That's all right.
I need a little bit
a
of.
little black. So Bob Ross used to say, no, look. Oh,
no?
I'll put some in mine. Look there. There, now we both
Thank
got
you.
black. So
Moral support.
yeah. Look,
Okay.
I get a little jet coming out off the
I
island.
should probably clean the brush.
Look at that. Anytime you get everything is a happy accident.
Actually, talking about Father's Day, and then now you mentioned Cat Stevens. That was one of my actually favorite memories as a kid. It's funny. The funniest stuff you remember, and my dad. I remember us driving all the time, and I would get in the car with Dad. First thing he would do is pop in a Cat Stevens tape, and in the old Ford Taurus, and off to the bookstore we went, or off to the post office. Dad was the postman here,
Yeah.
and so he would bring me around, and I was always around with them doing stuff, and Cat Stevens was our little bit of our soundtrack. So Father's
pretty.
Day, yeah. Thinking of that.
And your dad was happy to see you on Father's Day and have a little bit of have some old memories.
Yeah, well, it's the kids too, right? Like my little guys they just love their grampy, and so they had a market actually at Max Aiken last week. I don't know if you heard about that little market. And my youngest went and bought a gift for him at the market, and it was my dad's a big bass fisherman, and so he picked up
Oh, really?
Dad's quite committed to that.
Well, it's becoming a big thing here. The striper bass is the huge contest they have every year, and
Big time.
brings so many people in, it was quite amazing.
Oh, it's just so exciting. Like, I feel like all these things that we've known forever in Miramichi, we've always known that the fishing's been great, and, it's beautiful to be here, and it's wonderful, and all these great pieces just seem to be getting their due diligence. Yeah, it's been nice. It's a great time to be here.
Well, we're going to, we got through 2 segments already.
Oh, okay.
It's just because we're interested.
Yeah, we have lots to talk about.
It's fun. We're going to go and take a short commercial break, and on the other side of that, we're going to finish up this beautiful painting and come up with some more great stories and ideas, and thank you for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Welcome back to McGowan's Canvas Miracles. We were trying to figure out what we painted. We don't know what it is yet, but it's coming up with something. We're having so much fun talking, forgot all about the painting. Yeah, so, oh yeah, Cat Stevens reminds me of a funny story you're talking about out west. So I went out west. I used to work like everybody back when the mill closed and everything. We all had to, there were so many of us out there, they opened a restaurant called Little Miramichi. Like in 14 McMurray, they had a little restaurant called Miramichi, Little Miramichi. So we'd all show up there, but then, so talking about when I was a kid, we had the old van and the 8-tracks used to pop in. And there was this band, Dr. Hook.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Sylvia's mother said, and we'd pop these, and loved it as a kid. So we're out west and they said, Dr. Hook's coming to play at this club, this bar. I thought, Dr. Hook, this famous band, is coming. I'm not thinking they're like 90 years old or whatever, but I'm thinking, Dr. Hook, I can't wait. I gotta, you know, when I was like, this is amazing. And we get to this little bar and I'm thinking, Dr. Hook, this must be like a cover band or something, right? So these old guys, they look more like ZZ Top than Dr. Hook, and I'm thinking, what is this going on? And they poor guys, you know, they at that point, you know, some things just are not meant to carry on, but they start singing in the worst, awful pitches, and it's the actual Dr. Hook, and they're singing these songs, but the minute they start singing the words, the crowd takes over and starts singing, and it didn't matter how bad they were. There was such memories in the room of people singing these old tunes that it was beautiful. So people loved it, and it turned out to be a spectacular thing, and they got to relive those concert moments and do their great stuff.
That's a nice story.
Yeah, so it's always fun to go out and see some of those things. So let's try to figure out what we got going on here. Let's put a horizon line in.
Okay.
Why not? Something in the background here. Yeah, now we got something going out to a horizon line anyway. It's got to be going somewhere, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to work it out in my head how this. Oh no, I can see this now.
Yeah.
That little line just changed the whole thing.
Just change the whole thing, eh? Change the perspective and give you a little idea of what's going on. So when you were a kid, remember we didn't wear seat belts. We all piled in the station wagons or the pickup trucks.
Oh, I'm not that old, Rob.
Oh, really?
I had to wear a seatbelt. Yeah.
Really? You never had a time when you were younger that no seat belts and.
Maybe I don't know. I guess
it's so common now that
yeah.
I think, how did we ever survive? I mean, there would be 6 kids piled in the back of a station wagon, laying down playing chess and drinking drinks and having naps and yeah.
I remember they used to tell me that the babies used to sit in the back window like that.
Oh yeah.
That's the one I can't get over. Actually, and you know what's crazy? Just to bring it back to a fun story. Up in the Northwest Territories, in some areas, those are not.
It's still commonplace.
It's still It's still how it goes. I remember we went up to, we're up in Nunavut at one point for some work, and I had my son. He was 18 months old, and I showed up with a car seat, and they're like, "You don't need that up here." And I was just, oh my gosh. But I guess Anyways, I buckled him in anyways, and I felt really guilty the whole time, and just actually that was a major culture shock. Was this. Nope, no seatbelts required.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, this was just like 10 years ago, so.
Wow.
10, 13 years ago.
Well, it takes a while for stuff to catch up for sure. I'm always behind. I don't watch the news or anything anymore. So then I hear something, I'm like, what? What's going on? Really? And they make it sound like the whole world's falling apart. And I thought, that's the same thing that was going on when I used to watch the news last year when I went. It's just a different place, different story, but they just keep switching it around.
They do a really good job of making it feel
like this is it. This is the one.
Again.
It's all over.
I remember Y2K. you know.
Oh, I know.
Telling my kids about Y2K, and they're like, "You guys really like believe that, Mom?" Like,
Well, of course,
yeah.
we didn't know difference.
Yeah.
We thought the Mayans' calendar and everything was a, a real
we were
thing, a real
going
deal.
down.
Oh yeah, my grandmother and them, they used to watch all those TV evangelists and donate all kinds of money. The end of the world was coming. It's like, oh my. Yeah. All the clocks were going to stop. We're still here.
Yeah,
I
we
don't know
made
how,
it.
I don't know how we did it.
Well, we just, you know, the time just flipped in how it was supposed to, I guess. Technology figured it out.
I miss the days when we used to have the dragon boat races in Miramichi and all the stuff like that. I hope all that stuff comes back because the whole city would show up, and COVID really put a damper on things, didn't it?
It did, but you know, like back to like, you know, kind of the whole, you know, it really put stuff into perspective. I know it was really difficult and it's really changed a lot of stuff, but you know, I do feel in some ways it's brought us together in different ways. And you know, it sucked at the time, and you know, we're still recovering in some ways, but look at how many wonderful new residents we have in Miramichi, and
That's true.
all these
The
great
culture
people.
has changed so much.
Our community, like I say, it's just such a wonderful time to be here. You know, I came back 10 years ago, and since COVID, I really saw how everything just kind of blossomed. You know, I feel like we're kind of getting a second chance to see who we are again as a community. And
I don't know why, but I wanted to add some blue up in
you're
here.
making me nervous with the blue. I'm going for it.
I thought, well, looks like there's a little body of water up in there, maybe.
I just don't know why it's blue though, but it's okay.
Well, it's blue water. I'm going to put some orange reflections over the top.
Okay. I trust you though.
I don't. Never trust me. We've had some real duds on here.
I have to go back and see, size myself up. How well did I do?
Make it a sort of a muddy brown color.
How long has your show been going, Rob?
Oh, just 7 months or so. It's pretty
Oh,
new.
wow.
It's pretty new.
Yeah, well, I did hear of it, and I did catch a couple of glimpses on I think YouTube. It was posted somewhere.
People, yeah, I get a lot of letters. People just love the show. So it's
Exciting.
great. Started out as a fun idea. Me and Sean, I was biking across the country raising money for tiny homes, and from Montreal to PEI on a bicycle.
You did this?
Yeah, and
How did I miss that?
oh, I don't know, it was a big thing. Everybody showed up. We had the whole 18 people from across Canada come in and ride through Miramichi. We had a big parade here, so it was kind of a fun deal.
Goodness.
So
That's really cool.
yeah, whole town. Well, not the whole town, but lots of people showed up and celebrated and had fun and watched it. And it raised, I think they raised around $80,000. So it was quite an ordeal.
Wow, that sounds fantastic.
I'm gonna put some black back over the top of that. So that's a really nice hill back there. Like there's some dirt hill going on.
We had a really lovely dirt hill today with Rob.
That's what I love about the show. You just make it up as we go. Just kind of let the canvas sort of do its own thing and see what'll turn out, as Bob Ross would say. Happy little accidents.
Happy little accident. I grew up watching him too. He was great. I did a lot of oil
I just
painting
love
growing up, and that's how I kind of got a lot of those tips was through that.
Oh, through Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite something. Yeah, so this new cliff that I got going up here is I'm going to add some green grass and hills up and through here.
Shoot for the stars, Rob.
So we want a little of this light green on here, so it's like the light is hitting the grass. A little bit of reflection going on. So we're putting this green moss that was once a river. It's turning us into something interesting here, but you're at least having a good laugh.
Yes.
And we'll see what we come up with. I'm going to darken out this tree and make it more of a silhouette, because the more I can hide of this thing, the better. I try to teach them in class all the time not to be so serious. They get so worried about trying to make something perfect. And I said, painting's about enjoying yourself It's a habit that you want to get into where you want to relax and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's beautiful, sometimes it's a mess, and you just have a good time with it.
Just let it dry and keep
Yeah.
going, right?
So I'm just gonna get out of that cliff altogether for a while because it's disturbing my mind.
Maybe uncomfortable.
I'm gonna go down and make a reflection of this moon. That seems like more, or sun, whatever it might be. So we're gonna take and like perspective again. We're gonna start with a little bit small in the background. Keep working our way up.
I'm coming.
You're coming?
I gotta finish this. I gotta finish this part. Okay, there we go.
So what other projects you got coming up with the downtown business district there to promote and get going for the city and help? You guys did a great job putting those lights up and making it different
yeah.
now for the festivals when you come in. It's getting so beautiful, the new parks and the new
Oh, it is. And
Miramichi is amazing.
we just got back from, our team just got back from Halifax actually, where we received the Economic Development Award for Atlantic Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about that. We've been working really hard, like I had mentioned, on really trying to keep things interesting downtown and to just build that sense of community. There's a statistic out there where they say, you know, the wellness of your downtown is a direct reflection of the wellness of your community, and we know that to be true, and we know that we want to build the sense of place and belonging in our downtown. And that lighting project, you know, as much as it was just a couple sets of lights hanging between a couple buildings, it really, quite literally, brightened things up. But also, we were noticing people coming in from other parts of the province because they've seen the lights on Facebook, or they've seen them on social media or in the newspaper. And then people are coming down a little bit more after dark and feeling more comfortable, and it's, you know, people are getting married in the park and all these wonderful things, and so we know that this work
Which park is this? I got to stay
Queen
away from there now.
Queen Elizabeth Park. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth Park. We're seeing lots of great things happen in there, and the lighting project in Queen Elizabeth Park and over the street on Newcastle Boulevard, and then kind of coming up, we really want to lean into making that space, the Queen Elizabeth Park and downtown Newcastle around the square and Ritchie's Wharf, and really keep the programming going. And you know, we're really looking at bringing in more music to the park this year. So we have a lineup of Rockin' River Fest series, which is going to be a bunch of free music in the park this summer. So you're going to see some consecutive weeks of music downtown Newcastle, and you'll be able to go in and enjoy it in the evening and spend some time with your family and friends. And yeah, so we're just really trying to keep the good feelings going down there, and you know, bring people together.
It's definitely family oriented for sure. I noticed that about Ritchie's Wharf and all that. I mean, it's the one place where people can get together, their kids can play, you can get a little snack or something. And there's always music at night and things going on.
Oh, it's amazing. And we've got all these great shops down there now too, which I'm so excited. You know, we've had Timbership join last year to the lineup, and then this year we have She Breezy, which is very exciting. And just, you know, I find that the more we do, the more people get involved. You know, at one point it felt very singular. It felt like, okay, you know, we were the ones that were really trying to push this and had to show up and do the work. But now it's people are coming together and saying, hey, we want to host this, or we want to operate this, or we want to do this. And that's what it's all about. So when you get into, you know, economic development, community development, you really just want to empower people. It's not about our ideas. It's not about, you know, being us doing the work. It's about the community feeling empowered to, hey, look, I can do an event like that with our group, or, you know, geared towards this group of people, or, you know, and we're really seeing that happen, and we're really, really, really excited. Canada Day is going to be excellent too. We have a really good Canada Day lineup coming. People can register their parade floats online at shopdowntownnewcastle.com. And yeah, we got some live music in the park that day too, face painting for the kids. Lots of exciting stuff going.
It all sounds like fun. So
Yeah.
are you going to be doing the painting?
I don't think so, Rob.
You can always paint a mountain scene with some water.
I don't know. Cliff, a mossy cliff.
Mossy cliff.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'll leave that to the experts. I might go and watch. That would be lovely. Dress up and
Yeah, you can take a bit of your brush here and maybe put some, what can we do? We can put some little flowers.
Oh no.
On our hedge. Might be a little bit of a flowers happening. Why not?
Okay.
Anything
Anything.
to make it a little bit fun.
Yeah. This is great.
It's awesome.
Oh, you want me to do flowers?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna put yeah, just like that. Look.
Look
They're
at,
lighting up on your cliff. I like your cliff.
thank you.
I think it turned out great. It's got a nice little soft ridge to it.
Softness and a little bit of blues and
So are you involved in all the festivals?
the majority of the festivals in the community, I either support through my business, through web development or social media management, or I sit on the board to some degree, or, but however, I say that, there has been a lot of new festivals popping up, and that just excites me more and more. There are lots of new things coming together, and some of those new ones I'm not a part of, but it's been an absolute excitement to see, a new event pop up on my news feed and, hear this or that or see a poster, and it's really great. There's a lot of excitement going on in the community.
Well, I don't know what we've created here today. We're coming to the end of our show, and so main thing we really want to do is get people to know that Miramichi has got some of the best festivals you're ever going to want to go to. So if you get a chance, and what are the dates?
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that. July 25th, 6th, and 7th is the Rock and Roll Festival, or the Rock and River Fest.
Okay.
And of course, Canada Day coming up as well. I'll kind of give that a little bit of time to, that's July 1st, starting in the park at 10 a.m. And music, and I think we'll expect a really great parade again this year. I think last year we had close to 70 floats. It lasted like an hour. It was
really?
a long parade, yeah, but it was great.
Well, I want to thank you for coming out today and
Thanks for having me.
throwing some blobs on a canvas with me, having some fun.
Yeah, it's good.
The whole idea isn't about creating a painting here. It's about setting the mood so we just relax and talk and enjoy and do things. And that's what painting should be, and that's what life should be, just a fun atmosphere. And take your kids out to these events and to the festivals and all the things in Miramichi. And we want to thank you, as always, for tuning into McGowan's Canvas Miracles. And get to meet great people and great guests. And you told some funny stories today. And
Thanks for having me.